Good evening all, and welcome to another video on All Hail the Ale. It's Saturday night, which means it's craft beer night, and we're delving back into 2022 with a beer from Tiny Rebel's birthday box. It is this one. It is the Vic Secret on Galaxy Double IPA, and like I say, this is a bit of an older one, so it might be past its best, but I wanted to try it because I haven't had a Tiny Rebel beer in a little while, and yeah, I love Vic Secret hops and I love Galaxy hops. The wife had this in the birthday box. She's not a big fan of double IPAs, and it's been sitting on the shelf, and I discovered it the other day at the back of the fridge, and I thought I'm going to give it a try. So yeah, there's not an awful lot I can tell you about the beer apart from the fact that it contains Vic Secret and Galaxy hops, and it's a double IPA that weighs in at 7.2% ABV. It's a 440ml can, and yeah, that's it. So without further ado, let's get it out into a glass and see what we think. We are pouring it into, funnily enough, a Tiny Rebel glass. It's a birthday glass from previous year, not last year's, because those are schooners, and I didn't want a schooner. The pour is this one, or is this even. That'll do. I want to get a nice, rather large head on that. Yeah, so it looks alright. It's a nice golden colour, pretty hazy with a voluminous off-white head. Looks good in the glass. Yeah, that's the glass. It's a nice one. That's it. It looks all right. And from opening, it smells really nice as well. It's got bright mandarin, beautiful mandarin notes. Huge mandarin for that matter. Lots of bright citrus. Lots of stone fruit. Bit of pineapple. It smells beautiful. It smells strong in terms of the scent strength. It doesn't smell boozy at 7.2. It does smell sweet, tropical fruit juice of a beer. Yeah, exactly like that. Sweet, tropical fruit juice. There's no booze coming through, no real malt coming through. It just stinks of fruit and hops. So yeah, that's not necessarily a bad thing with a double IPA. I'm hoping for some bitterness. I'm hoping for some resin. I'm hoping for longevity of the whole thing. So let's find out. Cheers. I'm very pleasantly surprised. And I say that because I've been let down with Tiny Rebel beers in the past. They've been a little bit lackluster. This one, the body is decent. It's medium weight, silky smooth. And the flavours have not been diminished by time. And I guess that helps being kept cold in the fridge. It reeks of hops on the nose and it tastes hoppy. It tastes like it's been double dry hopped, actually. It's got that chewiness to it. Big underripe stone fruit coming through up front. I think like ridiculously underripe mango, followed up by some bright citrus. The mandarin that's very dominant on the nose sits way back in the profile. It's almost got a West Coast vibe, slightly sticky orange to it. And yeah, that's nice. It's almost resinous, not massively so. And there is a real fresh, bright, almost, it's going to sound weird, almost like a cucumber vibe coming through. That's odd. I wasn't expecting that, but it's so refreshing. Almost, in fact, no, it's like lychee, that kind of thing. That clean, almost watery taste. And I know that sounds weird. It's not watery, but that kind of thing. The finish is bitter to start with, hoppy for the entirety. Slightly sticky, dominated by orange. And it's delicious. It's balanced as well. It really is quite well balanced. It smells super sweet on the nose, but it's really well balanced in the mouth. And I can't fault it. Can't fault that at all, really. So, Vic Secret on Galaxy from Tiny Rebel. Let's go to the aid memoir, which says there have been 1,900 check-ins, 6 from people I know, 3.8 average overall, slightly higher at 4.15 from the people I know. Fair assessment or not? What do you think? Let me know in the comments section below, and we're going to find out what I think. So, the Vic Secret on Galaxy is currently void of points, so let's give it some. Ronnie Pickering style. So, just top it off, just so we can get another closer look at the beer. Not all the way, because I want to top it up again for a photo in a bit. It's a nice looking beer. It's hazy enough, it's nice and orangey, it's got a nice off-white head, and it always helps to show you again in the glass. Looks good. And I like the glass too. I do. I've always liked that glass. And not that the glass has anything to do with the beer, but I like the look of it. I'm giving it a point. The aroma, it stinks in the best way. It's big, fruity, dominated by the mandarin orange. It's super sweet. It reminds me of my childhood where you'd have the mandarin segments and Libby's evaporated milk on them for dessert. Proper childhood stuff from the 80s, that. Big hoppy aromas, underripe stone fruit, the lot. It's great. It's having a point. The body is the only thing I would really change. I'd have more oomph to it. And I know it's only 7.2, but a double IPA of this kind of magnitude with this level of flavour, I'd want more. It is chewy from the hop, but I just want more. That's the only thing I could say really warrants a reduction. I'll decide on the level of reduction in a minute. Taste, cannot fault. It's got a great hoppy profile, beautiful underripe stone fruit, beautiful citrus coming through. The orange that's dominant on the nose, like I say, sits back in the profile, and there's a nice balance to the malt as well. And, of course, it's lovely and bitter for the entirety of the sip. So it's having a point. And the finish, I wanted it hoppy, long, and bitter. I'd liked it resinous, but there's not a huge amount of resin. Yeah. On a big double IPA, I want more bitterness. I mean, it's not the biggest, but I still want more so on the back end. So I'm going to give it 0.75 on that. And I'm going to give it the 0.75 on the body as well, which means that the Vic Secret on Galaxy has got 4.5 out of 5. So it couldn't have the bonus. Value for money, let's go for that. Tiny Rebel birthday box, I think, was about 50 quid for 8 beers. It's reasonable value for money, but there's better beers for the same sort of money. So I'm going to question mark that one. It's a tasty beer. Would I buy it again? I can't buy it again because it was limited edition for that birthday run. But would I if it was available? I am going to say, for a beer of this magnitude, at 7.2% of the style, again, there's better out there for less money. I'm going to say no, I wouldn't buy that one again. And it's kind of odd to say that. With a beer that I've scored quite highly at 4.5, I wouldn't buy it again. That's purely because there's better beers for the money. So there we go. Vic Secret on Galaxy, 4.5, with a possible bonus point for value for money. I can't decide. It's too early in the evening for that. So we're going to leave it there and say I've enjoyed this slight archaeological dig, and that has been the beer. I've been me. Them are the buttons. You know what to do with them by now, and I'll catch you again soon for another one. Bye.